Everyone, this is the latest Coliseum City update, and it goes with my blog post for today. And the report basically is that Coliseum City is still largely a community and not a new stadium. This comes from Oakland Council President Lynette Gibson McElhaney, District 3, my council member, who was kind enough to participate in a Facebook conversation that I started regarding the drawings behind the Coliseum City concept that Mark Davis asked me to submit back at the NFL owners meeting, spring meeting at the Ritz-Carlton in San Francisco. This is what Councilmember McElhaney said that was particularly alarming to me. And to be honest, she chimed in. I didn't say, hey, Lynette, would you please join us? Although I'm appreciative of the fact that she did, I just want to emphasize she jumped in to a public conversation. And she says, the issue here is not design, referring to what I did. We have looked at several varying design concepts that are all attractive and would enable the retention of all three franchises. There are several nuances discussed that must be taken into consideration, the needs and desires of the teams. The A's leadership have publicly stated that they do not wish to share the lands in Coliseum City at all. The Raiders have clear space needs that must be resolved in order to share the space with the two other teams. Our best and brightest minds continue to be engaged in ongoing discussions to resolve those challenges with the goal of realizing the city's grand vision of a vibrant new community of housing, retail, hospitality, office, and world-class facilities for our franchises. My issue with this is that something that I've said before, and Raider fans got angry when I said this, is that Floyd Gephardt and the City of Oakland have been working on a housing deal and not a stadium deal. And this cements right before your eyes what I have been trying to tell people, even when they wouldn't listen for some time. The focus has not been on an NFL stadium. And even NFL Executive Vice President for Business Affairs, Eric Grubman, told them, you're working on a land deal and not a stadium deal. So this has gone horribly off track. But what's worse is the complete lack of leadership, the lack of desire to establish a task force which would put private citizens on it who know better, who could really steer the city in the right direction. No, not at all. They want to hold it all to themselves. And then you've got, for example, this is what the city should do. The Wolf has to be told, the city has to basically grow a pair, that you sign not just a 10-year lease, but an agreement to build the Coliseum. That agreement did not incorporate or call for the exclusion of the Oakland Raiders. So you have to deal with what we come up with to keep both of those teams. Period. End of story. The city doesn't have enough guts to say that. And yet they have the avenue to do so. Then the A's like money. You put together a proposal that guarantees them $700 million over X period of time, like say 40 years. You'll be stupid to back off from that. Very stupid. Now, the other problem is with the county of Alameda and the Coliseum, in that the reports are that they're negotiating a land deal and not the relief of part of the county's bonded debt, which I was under the impression the county would be happy to make a deal with the city to do. It's a land deal. Now, we have to keep our fingers crossed and hope that land deal comes in the neighborhood of $50 million, and it doesn't include the property itself. If it includes the property, the Coliseum itself, and the county puts in replacement costs new as a factor, the City of Oakland is going to be given a big price tag it's going to have a hard time dealing with. And then there's the other problem of dysfunction. A number of people have reported to me that both Oakland Council President Lynette Gibson McElhaney and Oakland District 7 Councilmember Larry Reed are the reason why Floyd Gephardt is still around, and his plan, which the county of Alameda wanted to see dumped last fall, and we're still dealing with it. Are you dizzy about now? Do you realize that this is only complicated because of Oakland politics and politicians, and not because it's really complicated at all? I've said before, I'll say it again. This is not rocket science, but the politics makes things complicated. And within the politics, its people. For example, one elected official also said to me that, aside from that effort, that they said that the mayor of Oakland does not want Rebecca Kaplan to be on the Joint Powers Authority. And that, of course, obviously hampers their ability to agree on things with respect to Coliseum City. I've heard that from a number of people, okay? I haven't heard that from the mayor, but I have heard that from a number of people. The bottom line is all of this rancor has to stop. This desire to hold things close to the vest has to stop. This idea that there's no one else in Oakland that knows better than they do. They don't have the brightest minds at the table. In fact, no one has come up with anything that is doable. And what they have come up with has only pissed off the National Football League. But then they don't seem to care because they don't act like they're on the NFL's timetable. That's not new in Oakland. It doesn't matter who you put in the elected official chair. They all want to act like they are really, really more important than anyone else. And they have to prove that they're on an equal footing to a sports team owner and then say, well, we're not going to spend public money. No one's asking you to, or stuff like that. It's always, let me prove to you how powerful I am. No one cares. What rating agencies, bond rating agencies want to see is that Oakland has the leadership, the will, and the initiative to complete big projects. The rating agencies would love to see that it was done in a fiscally responsible way. Everyone wants to see that. This is horrible.